Anyamwan can you pay? Anyamwan can go ye cry. Yes, I did a man shank a day. Yes, I did a man shank a day. Monka swan shamamate, Checo TV. I feel a boo, never been at and I see what it.
Kofi TV, Shani Pewaso.
Mamma Shane, most streaming live. Anyamwan can you pay? Anyamwan can go ye cry. Yes, I did a man shank a day. Yes, I did a man shank a day. Monka swan shamamate, Checo TV. I feel a boo, never been at and I see what it.
Burial movie.
What an overround response that was. Two people at the front here. Shall we try again? Good afternoon, everybody. That sounds a little bit better. Welcome on board the Millennium City. As you can see, we've just left the pier. I'm obliged to give you a safety announcement. This is nothing to alarm you by, but just to let you know the vessel you have boarded on has got enough life-saving equipment for everybody on board today. This includes life jackets, life rafts, which are clearly marked with the green and white signs around the vessel. In the unlikely event of emergency happening twice in the same afternoon, please remain seated and take any instruction given to you by a member of crew. Toilets are situated downstairs on the lower deck, where we also have two coffee bars downstairs serving light snacks and refreshments, where also you can pick up the automatic guide if you can't understand what I'm saying. Now, a couple of people were asking as I was joining the vessel if we do live commentaries on these boats. Well, we're not guides or commentators, we are the crew, and we're here for your safety first. But my name's Dean. I had to serve a 5-year apprentice to work with the Thames, and I also had to get a local knowledge endorsement stamped on my licence, so I can point some points of interest on the way down to Tower and then on to Greenwich, if you'd like me to. If you'd like me to, say aye. Aye, aye. Aye, aye. Over here. we got the London Eye. The London Eye stands 135 metres tall. It's got 32 capsules on it, one for each borough of London. The new craze here in London last year was that you could actually get married on the London Eye. Now what happened was this. You, your partner, the vicar, plus 22 guests got on at the bottom. You said all your vows on the way to the top. And when you got to the top, they stopped the London Eye. You'd say I do, kiss the bride, and trust me, I really do know this one from my own experience in life. And then it's all downhill from up there. By the time you get to the bottom, you're divorced. Over here on the left-hand side, though, the Gothic-looking building is called Whitehall Court Mansions, a part of the All-Star 5-star hotel and more luxury unaffordable apartments. But behind this building during the Second World War, this is where Winston Churchill's War Office was, and there's actually a museum behind that building to that effect. So the next first bridge that we're going to go under is called Charing Cross Railway Bridge. This is the only bridge on the River Thames where we go under and over a railway line at the same time, because 35 metres below the waterline is the Bakerloo and the Northern Line. The large building over to the left-hand side is Charing Cross Station, and that building alone is supposed to represent a train leaving a tunnel. If you look at that building very closely, you'll notice it looks nothing like a train leaving a tunnel. It looks more like a 50s jukebox from America. This is the most noisiest bridge as well, because we get trains go over here every 3 or 4 minutes. But as we come through this bridge, look over here on the left-hand side, and you can see the oldest thing that you're going to see on the River Thames today. It's the obelisk thing over there called Cleopatra's Needle. Now, some Egyptians say we stole it off them, and some say they gave it to us to celebrate the victory of Nelson of the Battle of the River Nile. But have a look at the Sphinxes at the bottom, because they're actually facing the wrong way round. They should be facing outward guarding the needle, not inwards admiring it. The sister needle to this is in Central Park, New York. The white building beside it with the green tiled roof. Most of you are probably standing in this hotel this week. It's called the Savoy Hotel. They've just spent over £300 million on this hotel over the last 3 years, revamping all the rooms inside. But see, one of these Riverview rooms here on the river will actually cost you £2,300 per night to stay here. But don't worry about that, because for that type of money, it does come with a breakfast in the morning as well, with not one sausage on your plate, but 2. So the next bridge we're going to go under is called Waterloo Road Bridge, probably better known as the Ladies' Bridge, because back in 1945, while all our men was out fighting for king and country, 85% of the labour on this bridge was done by our own ladies. Now, I might have to say, there's 32 bridges on the River Thames, and out them 32 bridges, Waterloo Road Bridge is the only bridge to ever finish on time and under budget. So well done the ladies, eh? As we come through the bridge, look over here on the left-hand side. We've got a palace, Somerset House, built for the Dukes and Lords of Somerset. It's now an art gallery, but it used to be the registers for birth, deaths and marriages here in the UK. The building itself, though, is made out of Portland stone, which is a very expensive self-cleansing stone from Dorset. So when it rains here in London, which is about twice a year on average, and today looks like it's going to be one of them, this building over here actually washes itself. But we've got this fantastic palace this side. But if you look over here on the right-hand side, we've even got a better looking building. That's right, the concrete one, with the electronic board on top of it. It looks fantastic opposite this palace, doesn't it? Well, do you know what? You can't judge a book by its cover, because inside that concrete building are 3 of the finest theatres here in London. You've got the Codswold, the Littleton, and the Olivia being the largest one, which is the 1,500-seater theatre. Over here, though, on the left-hand side, the big white ship coming up is called the Wellington, and it was given to us by the New Zealand government, and is now a drinking livery for retired skippers who've been to sea for more than 25 years. But look on the yellow funnel there. You can see the royal coats of arms, and our Queen's husband, Prince Philip, is the headmaster of this vessel. Stand on the left-hand side, have a look along the river wall behind the Wellington, and you can see the black Victorian lamppost with the white glass balls on top of them. Look underneath the Victorian lamppost, and you can see the green lions' heads with rings in their mouths. Now, you might have thought these were mooring rings, but they're not. What it was an early flood warning back in the day. The police were told to come down to the river at high water, look over the wall, and if the Lions' Heads were drinking, London was sinking. So what the police would do then is they would get on that little blue phone box over there beside the lamppost, and they would phone all the underground stations along the Victoria Embankment, and they would close them down in fear they would be flooded. Nowadays we got the Thames Barrier for this, but there is a more modern day sound if you'd like to hear it. Would you like to hear it? Feel free to join in if you know it. If the Lions' Heads are ducked, then London is well and truly flooded. Folks, look at how high the water is now. We're nearly at high water, about another hour off. We can't use number 4 arch because this boat will not get underneath this arch. So we have to use the middle arch because it's got a metre taller than the other 2 outside arches. In about another 20 minutes, we might not even be able to get underneath this arch here as well because the tide today is going to get up to 7.4. In front of the boat on the left hand side, if you have got a camera and you want to take a photograph of St Paul's Cathedral, now's the time to do it because this is the best view of St Paul's Cathedral you're going to get from the river. But I will come back to St Paul's as we go through the next set of bridges. But stand on the left hand side, see the white building here with the green roof and the black turret? Old London School for Boys. This is where 2 of our Prime Ministers went to school. Winston Churchill was one of them, but he got thrown out of this school for being a naughty boy in the classroom and ended up going to a school in Harrow. Lord Asquith was the other Prime Minister, but if you look in between the archway windows there, look, you can see 4 more scholars from left to right. William Shakespeare, Francis Bacon, John Milton, and the one on the right there with the ball on his right knee is David Beckham. Well, tell a lie, if anybody's heard David Beckham speak, they'd realise that he didn't go to school, and of course that is Isaac Newton. The next set of bridges we're going to go under, I've already said they are the lowest set of bridges. Legend says they are the most romantic as well. Legend says if you kiss the one you love as you go beneath these bridges, you will get years and years of happiness. Any single ladies? Hello. Any single gentleman? He's open-minded. And if you're not with the one you love, just lean over and kiss your husband or your wife, because apparently that works in the same way as well. So don't be shy, folks. We've only got one more bridge of the Tunnel of Love. Is everybody okay? Should I carry on or shut up? Yes? Okay. Let's go back to St Paul's Cathedral. St Paul's Cathedral stands 365 feet tall. Look at the gold cross on the top. Come down to the top of the dome and you can see there's a viewing gallery up there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's over 528 steps up to that viewing gallery, and Sir Christopher Wren was brought back into London to rebuild 89 churches after the Great Fire of London. This one was his masterpiece and it took him 35 years to build, and that is why he's buried in a crib below along with the Duke of Wellington and Admiral Lord Nelson. But over here on the right hand side, the big brown building with the tall chimney used to be Bankside Power Station, and now it's home to that modern art gallery called the Tate Gallery. And if you lot know anything about modern art, you'll understand exactly why it's free to go in that big building over there. Let me tell you, there's a light bulb that goes off and on in a room, a burnt out car, an half-eaten curry, and a teenager's bed that's not been made for 3 months, and they call that art, modern art. The next bridge we're going under is called the Millennium Footbridge. Back in June 2000, when our Queen opened this bridge, the Metropolitan Police had to close it that very same afternoon because the bridge violently started swaying backwards and forwards like this, and people were falling all over on it. But the designer, Lord Norman Foster, said on live TV, "It's not my bridge, it's the way Londoners walk." Over here though, look, the white building with the thatched roof, Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, the replica. This is the only building in central London today to have a thatched roof because of the Great Fire of London in 1666. A famous American actor, he wanted to put this replica back into London, and his name was Samuel Wanamaker. In front of the boat, on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side though, look above the buildings and you can see the tallest building in Western Europe, the Shard of Glass. It stands 1,017 feet tall. It's got casinos in the basement, then shops, then offices, and then a 6-star hotel. But on the 72nd floor, She's got a viewing gallery up there, which will cost you £30 to go up there today. And the lift only takes 90 seconds to get up there. But above that are all the penthouse apartments. And the designer of this building, Renzo Piano, an Italian designer, now he was supposed to get paid £1 million for this design, and he said no. I don't want that £1 million. What I want is one of the penthouses at the top of the building, which he got. But listen to this. Last month, he sold it to will.i.am, the American musician, for £29 million. Now, you've got to agree with me, ladies and gentlemen. That's not bad for a drawing of... Financial Times newspaper. If you look in the corner though, there's a pub here called the Anchor at Bankside. Last year, this pub would have been on this site 400 years. This is where William Shakespeare used to use the rooms upstairs as his changing room. Samuel Pepys has also mentioned this pub on his diaries when he was writing about the Great Fire London over this side that lasted for about 5 days. Now there's not much to say about the next bridge, Cannon Street Railway Bridge, apart from it stops the trains from falling in the water. But see over there where it says Banker, another pub. As we go through this bridge, as we go through the bridge on the left-hand side, on the other side of the bridge, look back underneath the bridge and we see a row of clear windows. If we're really lucky this afternoon, we might see some semi-naked...
Yeah, and I'm bringing it, yes. Going. Didn't take a crack.
Ladies and gentlemen, they put the one-way glass in the wrong way round. Look, that means that we can see in, they can't see out, and let me tell you, some days are definitely better than others. Some days you wish you never looked over there, and some days we go round in circles. Has anybody seen those films, Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah? Well, have a look over here on the right-hand side. Look, there's the back end of a pirate ship. It's got nothing to do with the Pirates of the Caribbean whatsoever, though. I just think that's a really good film and wanted to share that with you being a captain. But this is a replica of Sir Francis Drake vessel called the Golden Hind. This replica has actually been round the world twice. But Sir Francis Drake and 80 cutthroat sailors took 3 years to navigate the world. They got lost in America on their way back. But when they got back to England, they got back to England with £24 million worth of gold, which they had stolen off the Spanish. In the last gap on the right-hand side over there, look, Southwark Cathedral. In 1607, John Harwood was baptised here, and he later went on to America to open Harvard University. The next bridge we're going under is London Bridge. Probably the most historic bridge that you would go under today. The Romans put the first one up over 2,000 years ago, and it was wooden, and it had wooden houses above it. The nursery rhyme, London Bridge is falling down, is absolutely true, because this is bridge number 5. Has anybody been up the Sky Garden today? Is anybody going up the Sky Garden today? No? You must do this, folks, because it's free. See that big white building over there with a white crane on top of it? Come down to the top floor there, look. You can see people queuing up to go in to the biggest Sky Garden in Western Europe. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it's free to go up there. It's well worth a visit. The only problem is, though, you will need to go to the internet, because you'll need to go to skygardenlondon.com to book your free pass to go up there. It's well worth a visit. See the blue shiny building over here? If you have got a camera, please make sure you take a photograph of the blue shiny building on the left-hand side. This is a very, very important building here in London. It's actually the headquarters and the training ground for the window cleaning company here in London. Once they pass out this side, they come over this side and clean the 14,000 pieces of glass in the Shard of Glass. The yellow brick building over here to the left-hand side is Old Billingsgate Fish Market. There's been a fish market on this side for over 800 years, but today the only fish in this building are the gold ones that you can see on the roof. Billingsgate Fish Market has now moved to Canary Wharf for bigger premises. Now we've got 2 ships over here today. We've got the Ocean Majesty. That's here visiting for a couple of days. It's a German ship. But the one in front and behind that, you'll have to look very carefully and very closely, because you might miss her because she's under camouflage. The HMS Belfast. She was built in the Harlem Mall shipyard in Belfast, the very same shipyard as the ill-fated Titanic. She's got 9 decks to explore down from the engine room right up to the wheel box. She last fired her guns in anger in the Korean War in 1951. She also fired her guns on the D-Day landing. But back in 1939, when that vessel was launched, she weighed 11,000 tons and could cut through the water at about 32 knots. Diesel. We're going to go right down to Tower Bridge and we're going to turn the boat on its side so everybody can get nice photographs of Tower Bridge from this side of the boat when we get down there. If you can't understand me though, just carry on doing what you're doing. Over here to the right hand side, you'll have to look very carefully. We've got the Tower of London. William the Conqueror, he started building this castle in 1078. The oldest part of this castle is the bit in the middle there with the 4 turrets, and this is where our Queen keeps all her jewellery. But have a look along the river wall over there, look. You can see the words written on the wall, entry to Traitors Gate. This was the first one-way street here in London. Once you went up it, you never came back down. This is where they would have chopped your heads off. And if that wasn't bad enough, they then would have stuck your head on a wooden spike, dipped it in tar and stuck it on the old wooden London Bridge for everyone to see. But a lot of people say to us, where's the bloody tower? You can't see the bloody tower from the river because the bloody trees are in the bloody way. So folks, we're just waiting for it safe to do so, and we will turn the boat across Tower Bridge, which was opened in 1894. The bascles in the middle, the bits that lift up, weigh 1,000 tons each and can be lifted in 90 seconds at a 90-degree angle. Mum, hello Mum. There's an exhibition going on at Tower Bridge at the moment. You can actually walk up the left-hand tower, walk across the old Victorian walkways at the top there, look underneath the crest in the middle there, and you can see they've just put a new glass floor in. So you can see the cars and the boats going beneath your feet. But ladies, if you're going to do the Tower Bridge experience, make sure you wear a pair of trousers. Because as you're looking down, everybody from this boat and every other boat is definitely going to be looking up. So make sure you wear a pair of trousers that day. Trousers, that's right. So folks, listen up now, a little bit of journey information. If you're going to Greenwich, stay on this boat.
I don't know if I know so much.
Diaper dadano. What the bonana and what's it?
Oh, diaper.
We yina ne ho gunsa. Ma crocro no.
Baby, me be fake, me be fake. Mommy, me nim krasi bi aba. Papa.
Baby.
Happy mom. Say the Father's Day we celebrate in kakra. But say
pa. Panda baby diaper. And no phobia. Here when you feel.